Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a wonderfully intimate, kind of fascinating guide to personal happiness. We often look for these massive, dense self-help volumes to figure out how to live a good life, but what if the most profound wisdom is actually the simplest? Before we even crack open today's source text, we're hit with this massive philosophical question. What if your entire experience of life came down to one single choice? We spend so much time sweating the small stuff, right? Worrying about circumstances, other people, the weather. But what if the core of your daily experience, whether it's positive or negative, isn't something that just happens to you, but a choice you actively make? Our source material today comes entirely from a single, deeply personal handwritten note. And there's just something so incredibly human about a handwritten guide. You can practically feel the texture of the paper and the pure intention behind the penmanship. We usually picture guides to life as these thick, printed textbooks. But this reads almost like a letter from a wise friend, offering us a gentle, super practical tutorial on navigating our own minds. Let's start with Section 1, Creating Moments of Joy. The author kicks off this tutorial with some very specific physical actions. Notice how deeply sensory this checklist is. Step 1, smile 100 times a day. Step 2, gaze upon the beauty of a flower. Step 3, inhale the divine scent of a rose or jasmine. The goal here is grounding yourself entirely in the present moment through your physical senses. Instead of getting lost in abstract worries about the past or the future, this tutorial anchors us right here, right now, with highly actionable steps. And this brilliantly illustrates that finding joy really doesn't require complex rituals. You don't need a grand victory or a massive life event to justify happiness. You can just smile for no reason. Even giving thanks for the simple act of living, literally just the fact that you have breath in your lungs, is framed here as a totally valid, complete reason to experience joy. It's a powerful reminder that happiness can be profoundly simple. Moving right along to Section 2, the practice of self-love. The writer explicitly instructs us to smile at our own reflection and declare self-love directly to ourselves. Now, I know for a lot of people, looking in the mirror and actually saying I love you out loud can feel a bit awkward or maybe a little vulnerable. Take a second to just imagine doing that. It is a really intimate act. But, that's exactly the point. It's forcing a moment of radical self-acceptance. By praising everything from our face to our body's coordination, we're meant to actively recognize our own magnificence. The author doesn't want you to just vaguely love yourself. They want you to be highly specific. Think about it. When was the last time you actually stopped and thanked your body just for functioning, for simply coordinating your steps as you walk down the street? We spend so much time critiquing ourselves, but we're being reminded here to view ourselves as the magnificent, complex beings that we truly are. Just picture taking a deep breath in, letting a soft smile form, and truly feeling the vastness of your own identity. The author asks us to close our eyes, completely removing the visual distractions of the outside world, to just feel the sheer scale of our own existence. It's this beautiful, meditative practice designed to center you entirely in your own power. But then we hit a sudden, stark pivot. After giving us this lovely, uplifting step-by-step guide on smiling, smelling flowers, and self-love, the author abruptly pulls the rug right out from under us. But actually, they do it in the absolute best way possible. Which brings us to Section 3, the gift of free will. The writer elevates the whole concept of personal choice to a divine level, framing it as the ultimate power granted to us. The steps we just went over, the smiling, the gratitude, the mirror, they aren't rules you're forced to follow. They are options. We're transitioning here from a practical tutorial into a much deeper philosophy about our existence. And the fact that we have the power to choose these actions, or completely ignore them, is the actual miracle being celebrated here. It is incredibly freeing to read that you are absolutely not obligated to celebrate life if you don't want to. There is no cosmic homework here. If you want to wake up and totally ignore the jasmine or just not look in the mirror and say I love you, you are perfectly free to do exactly that. The author beautifully removes that heavy guilt that so often comes packaged with self-help advice. The text asserts that an all-powerful, loving source steps back entirely so that we can wield this wonderful gift ourselves. According to the author, a loving creator gives us the ultimate respect by not forcing us to be happy. Because think about it, if our joy was mandatory, it wouldn't be real, right? It only truly matters because we can freely choose it. The loving source of all things has quite literally handed us the remote control. You are the sole architect of your internal experience. You can hit the button for choice A and be miserable and sad, or you can choose choice B and be happy. This incredible power rests directly in your hands, completely free of any outside intervention. And that leads us to our final part, Section 4, your ultimate life question. The writer cheerfully dismisses us to go live our lives, but they drop one final lingering thought for us to act upon. It's exactly like a teacher concluding a deeply impactful tutorial, waving you out the door, but making absolutely sure you take one specific piece of homework with you to apply in the real world. How do you prefer to live your life? As we wrap up this explainer, the author leaves us with this final challenge, and your answer is yours alone to keep. So, applying today's tutorial, what actionable choice are you going to make right after this explainer ends? Will you find a moment to pause and just breathe? Will you look in the mirror today and actually choose to say something kind to yourself? Will you notice a flower on your walk and stop to appreciate it? The tutorial on joy is right there, right in front of you. So, how will you choose to use it today?